So I am a public health physician by background, and prior to completing my specialty training in public health, I completed training in family medicine, and so I have been a part of a lot of health care, health system, public health emergencies. And in my leadership journey, which started in 2005 when I left my residency training program in public health and became a medical officer of health, the leadership job I was trained for, in that 19-year period, I have understood that some of the best run health emergencies that I have seen have been the ones where the health leader has called the team to take a breath. These emergencies I'm talking about are emergencies like pandemics, but also like giant fires where noxious clouds of gas are floating over the city, and even what we call a code blue in the healthcare system, a cardiac arrest. And even in those most dire of situations, I have seen health leaders call for a pause, not the person who is doing chest compressions. That person has to keep going, but everybody else. And the call hasn't been dramatic. It's been, guys, take a breath for a second. How are you doing? Are we missing anything? Have we thought of everything? Have we done everything that we can? And so I am reminded tonight of the ways in which so much of my leadership has been shaped by those experiences, and I call it the experience of inviting stillness into chaos. Now, many of us would recognize what chaos looks like, and in fact, many of us would see it in our healthcare system. But I find that there has been no greater teacher for me of the definition of chaos than this author, the effortlessly creative Sandra Boynton, the children's writer. I call her the toddler whisperer. And for those of you who are going through your own baby shark moments right now, and I know you're out there, please know that these CDs exist. And in these CDs by Sandra Boynton, she writes several songs. So this one is called Philadelphia Chickens, the CD, and 17 and a half other highly unlikely songs for all ages except 43. And what she says, apologies to the 43-year-olds out there, and what she does with these CDs is she invites Hollywood actors, famous persons, to perform the songs in a variety of genres. And so this one is called Busy, 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 and it is performed by the inimitable Kevin Kline in the style of a Gilbert and Sullivan operetta. And so I'm going to read you the first stanza of this just to give you a sense of what a system in chaos might look like. We're very, very busy, and we've got a lot to do, and we haven't got a minute to explain it all to you. For on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all one word, there are people we must see, and on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're as busy as can be, with our most important meetings and our most important calls, and we have to do so many things and post them on the walls. And I would play this song in my car, and believe me, this was the only set of CDs that my entire family, including the adults, could actually get behind and enjoy, and we would role play the different parts of the opera as we were going. It was fantastic. And I would play this song in the car, and my kids would say, "Mama, that's you with your coffee and your Post-it notes and your Sharpies and your Post-it notes," right? And they weren't wrong. There I was, young health system executive. I was on the leadership team of the Capital District Health Authority. I was the medical officer of health for the city of Halifax. And I was busy, busy, busy. I had the Post-it notes and the Sharpies and the meetings and the calls and so many things to do. And as I was hearing this reflection back from my children at that very young age, I was recognizing that, in fact, in all that busyness, as I was speeding by the landscape, perhaps I was missing the landscape. When we are moving that fast, we can't see the details. And the details might actually be important. And so I started looking for another way of doing things, a way to perhaps stop bumping down the stairs backwards on my head, which is what the busyness sometimes felt with, and maybe see if there's a way to stop long enough to figure out another way to get down the stairs, as Pooh is invoking here in this schematic. And so as I was looking for that, I had the fortune of meeting a healthcare leader, Chris Power, who many of you will have heard is returning to Nova Scotia Health as the new senior administrator. And she was the CEO of the health authority at the time, and she grabbed me and said, "You lead And here's how you're going to do it. Go find this program that we've just invested in. Have a look at it. It's a year-long leadership training program. And so I went and found this program, and at the heart of this program, called Envision Halifax, was this theory called Theory U. Now, some of you will have heard of Theory U, and let me give you the Coles Notes version of what this is. So the idea behind Theory U is that many of us in health systems are used to identifying problems. And so on the left-hand side of the U, you'll see the problem up here at the very top. And we identify that problem, and the health system leaders say, right, we have a problem. Team, we need a team. We need a committee, get the team. Okay, everybody, here's what we're gonna do. You need to generate solutions. I'm gonna give you 7 days. That's not enough? Okay, 10. You can have 10, but we need this fixed. We need it fixed now. Get it done. And so the team gets to work. And they are busy, and they're putting in place all the solutions. They come up with the solutions. They implement the solutions. That's the top right-hand side of the U. And as they implement those solutions, everybody feels satisfied. We did it. We got it done. And the problem goes away for 2 days, 2 weeks, maybe 2 months, maybe a year. And then the problem comes back. It may not be the same problem exactly. It may be a slightly different iteration of the problem. And so the CEOs, the vice presidents, the directors get together and say, okay, this time we don't need a committee, we need a strike team. Get the strike team. Okay, we need KPIs, we need deliverables, and go. And the team is off again. And they put in place the solutions at the top right of the U. And the problem goes away for another 2 days, or maybe another 2 weeks, 2 months, another year. And it comes back again, and the team is saying, wow, this is a really pernicious problem. This is a sticky problem. We just can't seem to get it to stay down. And so in the vernacular of Theory U, which is a theory that was put together by Professor Otto Scharmer at MIT, what he describes that pattern of problem, solution, he describes that pattern as jumping the U. And what he invites instead, and this has stuck with me since those early days in 2006, is the idea that in order to get to solution, you must first agree to stay with the problem. Work the problem. Love the problem. Get into the problem. Be still with the problem. Allow the problem to change you. Change your perspective. Be still again with the problem. And it's in that stillness that the solution emerges. It pops like a dream in the middle of the night. Oh my God, there it is. And it is in crystal clarity because you can see it now in ways that you had no idea you were missing before as you were speeding by the landscape, right? That's the idea behind bringing stillness in chaos. And so you can think about it and say, but in a healthcare system, which everybody is busy in, I mean, how can we afford to be still with the problems? They're so huge. We need action. We need now. We need do more faster. But what if in doing that, we actually miss what the real problem is and therefore misapply the solution? Let me give you an example. Imagine that you yourself are in a hospital bed today, or you have a family member in a hospital bed, and they're sick, or you're sick. You're gonna be okay, but you're sick enough that you can't get out of bed. Now, just for a minute, imagine what that hospital sounds like. You can hear the busy, right? There are machines going off everywhere. They are keeping you up at night. And there are people running, bustling everywhere. You can hear it all the time, all the time, all the time. But you're sick enough that you can't get out of bed, and so there you are in this hospital, and there you will stay until you're well enough. And a busy, busy person comes into the room. They're very, very busy. They don't have time to introduce themselves to you, but they're very important, and they need to do some things. So you say, of course, and you allow them to do whatever it is they need to do. And in the doing, they remove the table that was by your bed because it's in their way. Now, on that table are things that you need. You can't get out of bed, so you've been provided with a urinal because you're not incontinent. You can still manage your bladder. It's just that you can't get out of bed, right? And your food is on that tray, which is particularly important if you're diabetic and you actually need to eat on time. But this busy, busy person has come in, they don't introduce themselves, they move the tray, they move the urinal, and they do their work, and then they leave. The tray and the urinal are now 3 feet away from where they were. And you're stuck in bed. Now, worst case and best case scenario, you don't make it to the urinal in time because you can't, it's far away, and you wet the bed. Now, you know this person is busy, busy. They have come in and they have basically said to you, I am a VIP in this system. You need to just let me do what I need to do. You don't matter so much. And so you're not going to dare ring your call bell to bring that person back into the room. They're very busy. So you watch and you wait and you wonder, how am I going to get to that urinal when I need it? Best case scenario, you may be incontinent. You may wet the bed, especially if you're elderly, right? Your food is not there. And so if you're diabetic, now you're at risk of hypoglycemia. Both of those things are actually going to cost the busy system money as they bring the nurses back in the room now to move you, roll you over, change you because you've been incontinent, right? The other thing that may happen is that you try and get to the tray yourself. And now you're at risk of a fall and a broken wrist, rib cage, hip. That's going to cost the system a heck of a lot of money and time, and the patient most of all. And what would happen if instead of that busyness, a moment of stillness was allowed? Before I leave this room, have I made sure that this person's every need is attended to? Is there something simple that I'm forgetting to do, like put the table back, right? That's the power of stillness. And so let me close with this. In order to recognize stillness and where you might consider applying it, it is quite important to understand what chaos looks like. And so let me just return to the wisdom of the goddess Sandra Boynton. And so I'm going to skip the second stanza, but I'm going to read you the third and fourth. And so in the third stanza, it says, we have to hurry to the left, and then we hurry right, and we're talking every minute as we hurry day and night. And we have to have our lunches, though we don't have time to chew. And we have to order many things in gray and navy blue. But we think supplies are limited. Restrictions may apply. So we'll call the operators who are surely standing by. And then the operators go into their own very, very busy rant. The last stanza, we have to hurry far away, and then we hurry near, and we have to hurry everywhere and be both there and here. And we have to send out messages by email, phone, and fax, and we're talking every minute, and we really can't relax. And we think there is a reason to be running neck and neck, and it must be quite important, but we don't have time to check. Thank you for your time.